it's really critical to get to make the connection between producers, in the field, and then chefs who are taking the product and then further augmenting it in kitchens, and eventually that even flows through to the consumer. So the connection there between producer and consumer a lot of times goes through chefs, especially when it's a newer product that people may not be really comfortable with or really understand. If they go out to a restaurant and it's introduced to them there and they taste it and they're like, oh wow, this is great, they're more likely than to, when they see it on the grocery shelf, to be interested in buying it and trying it themselves. And I think that that's a role that chefs play in educating people's palates, consumers' palates. So to have externships like this is absolutely instrumental. I was saying to one of the chefs down in the kitchen that one of the things I love about this opportunity is that I cook food all the time, and I cook different foods from different parts of the world all the time. But just because of the way the human beings are, I tend to fall into my own kind of habits and fallbacks. So I know a certain palette of ingredients, and I know if something's off in a dish, I need to add something from one of those kind of corners of my toolbox. And if you don't expand that palette and that toolbox, that's when you get really stunted as a chef, because you're not able to draw in new things. So the opportunity for me here, and I think for Emmy Roth or any producer, is to be able to help the chefs expand their palate so that they can then go out and do that with their guests and the consumers in the market. Culinary instructors, we are, we're the manufacturers of the chefs of tomorrow. So we are really creating the people that are going to be out there in the restaurants using these products, putting them into different fabrications and different formulations, and sending them out to the guests and the consumer. So for us, to have as wide a palette or dictionary or vocabulary of ingredients is really critical, because we can then come introduce it to the students. So it's kind of like the law of increased returns, not diminishing returns, but increased returns. So you can give me that information, and I'm going to go back to my school and I'm going to give it to my 20 chef instructors, and we're going to do a tasting and we're going to talk about these different things, and they're going to go out and in each of their classes they're going to touch 20 students. And so think about how that increases. Then those students are going to eventually go out into their restaurants, and they're going to be creating dishes with those ingredients in them. Other cooks in those restaurants are going to see it. Customers out in the restaurant are going to eat it. So that's really kind of how that, the power of this kind of externship for a culinary instructor is really critical, I think, for introducing new products, and then also, again, just for us to really expand our vocabulary of ingredients.